What if everything you thought you knew about intelligence was wrong? What if I told you that the obsession with IQ scores and academic achievements is a distraction? The real keys to mastering life, to navigating its chaos with purpose and achieving genuine fulfillment, lie in cultivating just three specific types of intelligence. We're talking about the power to solve real-world problems with ingenuity, to generate groundbreaking ideas that reshape your reality, and to analyze complex situations with unwavering clarity. The Stoics understood this implicitly. Their pursuit of human flourishing was not a passive affair. It required an active, engaged mind, a mind capable of understanding the world, adapting to its challenges, and acting with virtue. They knew that true wisdom wasn't just about what you know, but how you live what you know. As Seneca, the great Stoic playwright and advisor, once wrote, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, insofar as it stands ready against the accidental and the unforeseen, and is not apt to fall." This readiness, this adaptability, this art of living, it is fueled by a broader spectrum of intelligence than we commonly acknowledge. Today we will unveil these essential capacities, the tools the wise have used for centuries to build lives of meaning and impact. And if you stay until the end, I will share a powerful ancient parable that perfectly illustrates this episode. Now, let's begin by diving into three pillars of intelligence that, when cultivated, provide the foundation for a life well lived: practical, creative, and analytical intelligence. These are not just abstract concepts, they are actionable skills, capacities you can develop, hone, and master. The artisan of action, mastering practical intelligence. Imagine a seasoned ship captain navigating a treacherous storm. He doesn't just rely on his knowledge of charts and weather patterns. He draws upon years of experience, an intuitive feel for the ship, the ability to make quick, effective decisions under immense pressure, and the skill to manage his crew. This is the realm of practical intelligence. Often dubbed street smarts or common sense, practical intelligence is the ability to understand and solve everyday problems, to adapt to diverse contexts, and to implement solutions effectively. It's about knowing how to do things, how to make things work in the real world. It's the intelligence that allows you to read a room, to negotiate effectively, to fix what's broken, or to learn a new skill through doing. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized the application of principles over mere theoretical knowledge. He urged his students, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Practical intelligence is the engine of that embodiment. Consider the challenges you face daily: managing your time, dealing with difficult colleagues, making sound financial decisions, or even raising a family. These aren't typically solved by reciting theories. They require an understanding of context, an ability to learn from experience, and the knack for finding workable solutions. This is practical intelligence in action. It's the intelligence that helps you discern what is truly within your control and to act decisively within that sphere. How then do we cultivate this essential art of living? First, embrace experience. Seek out new situations, even those outside your comfort zone. Volunteer for a new project, travel, learn a hands-on skill. Mistakes are not failures, but data points. Each challenge overcome, each problem solved, hones your practical acumen. Second, become an insightful observer of people and situations. Listen more than you speak. Pay attention to nonverbal cues. Understand the underlying dynamics of social interactions. Practical intelligence thrives on accurate perception of reality. Third, learn by doing and reflecting. Don't just accumulate experiences passively. Actively reflect on what worked, what didn't, and why. This reflective practice turns raw experience into usable wisdom. Ask yourself, how could I have handled that better? What principles can I extract from this situation for future use? Fourth, develop adaptability. The world is in constant flux. Those who can adjust their strategies, learn new approaches, and remain flexible in the face of change are the ones who thrive. Practical intelligence is not about rigid adherence to a single method, but about finding what works best in a given context. This intelligence is not about being cunning or manipulative. In the Stoic sense, it is about effectively applying wisdom and virtue to the practical demands of life. enabling you to navigate the world with skill and integrity. It is the intelligence of the effective citizen, the capable professional, the reliable friend, the artisan of action, the spark of the unseen, igniting creative intelligence. While practical intelligence grounds us in the tangible world, our next form of intelligence allows us to transcend it, to envision new possibilities and forge novel paths. This is creative intelligence, the spark that ignites innovation, the ability to generate ideas that are both original and useful. Creativity is not the sole domain of artists and musicians. It is a fundamental human capacity, essential for problem-solving, adaptation, and growth in every facet of life. It's the ability to see beyond the obvious, to connect disparate concepts, to ask, what if, and to dare to explore the answers. One might wonder, where does creativity fit within the logical, reason-focused framework of Stoicism? While the Stoics emphasized living in accordance with nature and reason, this did not preclude ingenuity or resourcefulness. Finding new ways to contribute to the common good, to solve complex societal problems, or even to reframe personal challenges in a constructive light, all draw upon our creative wellspring. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often spoke of the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of seeing the whole. This holistic perspective can be a powerful catalyst for creativity. When we understand how different elements relate, we are better equipped to combine them in novel and valuable ways. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This very reframing is an act of creative intelligence, seeing an obstacle not as a dead end, but as raw material for a new solution. Creative intelligence allows us to solve problems unconventionally. When standard solutions fail, creativity offers a lifeline by helping us think outside the box and approach challenges from entirely new angles. It also fuels innovation and improvement across all areas of life. Whether in technology, business, personal development, or social systems, creative intelligence is the driving force behind every new invention and every improved process. Additionally, creative intelligence helps us adapt to change. In a rapidly evolving world, the ability to envision and implement new ways of doing things is crucial for resilience. Beyond practical benefits, creativity enables us to find meaning and expression. It allows us to express our unique perspectives, make sense of our experiences, and contribute something uniquely ours to the world. So how can we fan the flames of our own creative intelligence? First, cultivate curiosity. Ask questions relentlessly. Explore diverse fields of knowledge. The more varied your inputs, the richer the material your mind has to work with. As Leonardo da Vinci, a supreme master of creative intelligence, demonstrated, curiosity about everything is a hallmark of genius. Second, embrace ambiguity and complexity. Creative ideas often emerge from the messy, uncertain spaces where clear answers are not yet visible. Don't shy away from these spaces. Learn to sit with them, to explore them. Third, practice divergent thinking. This means generating many possible solutions to a problem rather than settling on the first one that comes to mind. Brainstorm, mind map, play with ideas without immediate judgment. Fourth, create dedicated time and space for deep thought and play. Creativity often flourishes when the mind is relaxed and unpressured. Allow yourself to daydream, to tinker, to experiment without a specific goal. Fifth, don't fear failure. Creativity involves risk. Not every new idea will be a winner. See failures as learning opportunities, stepping stones on the path to innovation. The Stoic acceptance of outcomes not entirely within our control is helpful here. Focus on the virtuous effort of creative exploration. Creative intelligence is the architect of the new, the discoverer of hidden connections. It is the power that allows us to not just react to the world, but to actively shape it, to bring forth beauty, utility, and novel solutions from the depths of our imagination. The light of reason, honing analytical intelligence. We have explored the art of doing in the spark of innovation. Now we turn to the one upon which both practical action and true creativity must be built. Analytical intelligence. This is the power of reason, the ability to dissect complex information, identify patterns, evaluate arguments critically, and arrive at sound, logical judgments. It is often what people mean by book smarts or intellectual rigor. For the Stoics, reason or logos was paramount. They believed that the universe itself was governed by reason, and that human flourishing came from living in accordance with this divine order. Analytical intelligence is our primary tool for understanding this order, for discerning truth from falsehood, and for making clear-headed decisions. Epictetus taught his students to meticulously examine their impressions, or fantasiae. He emphasized the importance of aligning one's actions with a clear understanding of oneself and the world. As he suggested, before acting, one must first reflect, analyzing the situation, motivations, and potential consequences through the lens of reason. This reflective process lies at the heart of analytical intelligence. It involves the capacity for critical thinking, the ability to question assumptions, both our own and those of others, to evaluate evidence and to recognize logical fallacies. It also requires the skill of problem decomposition, which means breaking down complex issues into smaller, more manageable parts in order to approach solutions methodically. Analytical intelligence includes pattern recognition as well, the ability to identify underlying structures, trends, and relationships within data or situations, which is essential for understanding systems and anticipating outcomes. Finally, it demands logical reasoning, employing both deductive and inductive approaches to construct sound arguments and draw valid conclusions. Marcus Aurelius constantly urged himself to wipe out imagination, stop pulling strings, confine thyself to the present, understand what happens to thee or another. Let the wrong which is done by a man stay there where the wrong was done. Each of these injunctions is an exercise in analytical thought, separating fact from fiction, cause from effect, what is essential from what is superficial. How do we sharpen this vital intellectual tool? First, engage in deep learning. Don't just skim the surface of subjects. Dive deep, read challenging books, study complex topics, and strive for genuine understanding rather than mere information recall. Second, practice argumentation and debate constructively. Learn to articulate your own positions clearly and logically, and to analyze the arguments of others. This hones your ability to spot weaknesses in reasoning and to build stronger cases. Third, seek out diverse perspectives. Actively expose yourself to viewpoints that challenge your own. This forces you to examine your own beliefs more critically and strengthens your ability to see issues from multiple angles. As John Stuart Mill argued, understanding opposing arguments is crucial to truly understanding your own. Fourth, study logic and mental models. Familiarize yourself with common logical fallacies and learn about different frameworks for thinking that can help you analyze situations more effectively. Fifth, cultivate mental clarity through practices like journaling or meditation. A calm, focused mind is better able to engage in rigorous analytical thought. The Stoic practice of daily reflection is in itself a powerful tool for analytical self-improvement. Analytical intelligence is the compass that guides our actions and innovations. Without it, practical efforts can be misguided, and creative ideas can lack grounding. It is the light of reason that allows us to navigate the complexities of life with clarity, foresight, and wisdom. We have already explored all the intelligences you need to master your life. But remember, these are not isolated islands. True mastery of life emerges when these three columns flow together, informing and enriching one another. A brilliant analyst may falter without the practical skills to implement their insights. A creative genius may struggle if their ideas lack logical coherence or real-world applicability. And a practical individual may miss opportunities for innovation or deeper understanding without the other two. Now, before you go, let me tell you an ancient story that illustrates this episode perfectly: the parable of the three sieves. One day, an acquaintance ran up to Socrates, bursting with news. "Socrates," he exclaimed, "do you know what I just heard about one of your friends?" "Hold on a moment," Socrates replied calmly. "Before you tell me, I'd like you to pass a little test. It's called the triple filter test." The man looked puzzled. Socrates continued, "Before you speak to me about my friend, it might be a good idea to take a moment and filter what you're going to say. The first filter is truth. Are you absolutely sure that what you are about to tell me is true?" The man hesitated. "Well, no," he said. "Actually, I just heard about it, and..." All right, said Socrates. So you don't really know if it's true or not. Now let's try the second filter, the filter of goodness. Is what you were about to tell me about my friend something good? No, on the contrary, the man started, looking a little embarrassed. So, Socrates interrupted, you want to tell me something bad about him, but you're not certain it's true? The man shrugged, his enthusiasm waning. Socrates pressed on. You may still pass the test, though, because there is a third filter, the filter of usefulness or necessity. Is what you want to tell me about my friend going to be useful to me? No, not really, the man admitted. Well, concluded Socrates, if what you want to tell me is neither true, nor good, nor even useful, why tell it to me at all? This simple yet profound parable of the three sieves beautifully encapsulates the integrated use of our intelligences. The sieve of truth demands analytical intelligence. It requires us to examine evidence, question sources, and strive for accuracy before accepting or spreading information. It's about critical thinking and logical assessment. The sieve of goodness touches upon practical intelligence in its social application, and indeed our emotional intelligence. It asks us to consider the impact of our words and actions on others and on the community. Is this kind? Is this constructive? It's about applying wisdom to our interactions. The sieve of usefulness or necessity can engage both practical and creative intelligence. Is this information actionable? Does it serve a constructive purpose? Sometimes, creative reframing is needed to find the utility in a piece of information or practical judgment to discern if sharing it is beneficial or simply adds to noise. By applying these three filters, Socrates wasn't just deflecting gossip. He was demonstrating a sophisticated way of processing information and making decisions, a hallmark of a truly intelligent and virtuous individual. Cultivating practical, creative, and analytical intelligence is not a mere academic exercise. It is a lifelong commitment to developing the very faculties that allow us to live more fully, more wisely, and more effectively. It is about becoming the kind of person who can navigate any storm, build new worlds, and discern the enduring light of truth.